see it again. Let's see. Let's see if it's a counter left uppercut. There it is. Counter left uppercut, right hook. Yep. Avanesyan threw his own left hand. So it starts out with Avanesyan throwing his left hand. Watch Avanesyan's going to throw his left hand. Watch the reaction by Crawford. Watch the reaction by Crawford. Boom. Counter. Rolls with it beautifully. So he rolls perfectly with the left hand and turns that right uppercut, a left uppercut over, and then comes back with the right hook.
Watch how he turned that power to the right side and twerk. That was a beautiful setup shot.
And that was what he added. You see, he was building up to it. He was landing a lot of the uppercuts over the course of the night. He was even doubling and tripling on them guys. But
it's fight week. Canelo versus Crawford. It's finally going down. A few days. It is finally going down. See the face-off between the two fighters. Dana White, Turki Al-Sheikh. We see the size difference right now. When we're looking at the guys now, Crawford appears to be the taller guy. He actually looks like the bigger guy, if I'm honest. And we're going to talk about that. But we see the fight week has started. Now, prior to fight week, where we left off was, well, people were saying that Terence Crawford looked soft, right? That Terence Crawford was looking soft around the waist, but we already debunked that. And that was before the camp even started, right? Ilia Topuria, the UFC's double champ, came out and used an old picture of when him and Crawford met at the UFC training facility. He used that picture a few days ago, and that's what led people to believe that Crawford was looking like the Damian Wayans from the Great White Hype, right? But we see here that Crawford is looking like he's in shape and looking slim and trim. Now, the factor of the fight was the weight. The main thing that people was talking about when we talk about this fight is the weight of the fight. Will the weight affect Terence Crawford? And I said early on that the weight wouldn't be a factor for Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford seems like a guy that can carry the weight. He seems like a guy that to go fight a guy like Canelo Alvarez, right? I'm not saying he can go up to 68 and fight some of the bigger, natural 168 pounders. I'm talking about the guys that actually got to melt down to 68, right? Actually melt down to 68. Nah, I'm not saying that. But a guy like Canelo Alvarez, who was a former welterweight in his own right at one point of his career, who's not necessarily the biggest guy at 168 pounds, yeah, Crawford could definitely take that challenge. But will the weight be a factor for Bud Crawford? And as we can see, it don't look like it's going to play too much of a factor, but we won't know exactly until both fighters get in the ring this Saturday. But Andre S.O.G. Ward and Roy Jones, they said the factor of the fight isn't really the weight. Check it out.
How much of a factor is the weight going to be in this fight?
I don't think the weight is going to be a factor at all. When you have to boil down to 47, he's coming from 75 or 80. He's going to have to boil down to 68 now. When you see your opponent, your body knows right then where we going. The initial press conference, my body changes from that day. My body started like, I don't even want soda. I don't even want candy. Because my body know, oh yeah.
It's work time.
You feel me?
Yeah,
so, and his body knows the same thing. So the fact that this time, it ain't like when I went up to heavyweight, he's actually got to boil down to super middle. That's what else people don't know. I had to go up. I had to eat and lift my way up. He's boiling down still, just like Canelo is, to make 68. You understand? That's a different ball game. That's a different animal.
I think it's going to be a factor, but I don't think it's going to be the factor.
No.
I think Terence he's going to feel it. Mm-hmm. He's going to feel it when they get inside. He's going to, I think, feel it when the punches land. When he gets a certain reaction, he may not get that reaction at least early from Canelo. And that's not just because Canelo has a sturdy frame or he's bigger, but Canelo's got underrated defense.
Right.
You know, he don't move his legs a lot, but it's more from the waist up, right? So I think it'll be a factor, but not that big of a factor. But it's a good point that you made. When I went up to light heavyweight, I followed in your footsteps and I went and consulted with Mackie Shieldstone in New Orleans. See, you got to get a DEXA scan. Went in there and that tells you bone density, body fat, all the stuff. And I kept telling him, I'm like, man, I'm going up to 75, I'm going up to 75. He said, you're not going up to 75, you're still cutting weight. He said, he said, you see the DEXA? You're 188. He said, you're cutting to make 175. And I just sat there for a second, I was like, hey, you're right.
Exactly.
He said, you're not going up in weight, you're just not losing as much.
Exactly.
And he put it in perspective for me, and that's the same exact thing that's going on with Terence Crawford. I don't know what he weighs, but if I had to guess, I think he for sure high 70s.
I think he
Maybe-
mid or high 80s.
Maybe even high 80s.
Now, to hear what they had to say, I think they put it into perspective for a lot of people. People was thinking that Crawford was going to have to build up, right? Build up. But you guys, but the fans got to realize that Crawford has been doing this thing for a long time, and he actually cuts down to get to 47, right? So really, he's not going to be cutting as much weight now, right? Because Bud Crawford, when YSM said he saw him, he said he every bit of 190. Now, this is before the camp started and everything, right? This is when Bud was just kind of walking around all year. And he said Bud Crawford looked like he was every bit of 190. So Crawford really just cutting less weight than he would normally would to fight at welterweight at 154 pounds. Especially right now at this point of his career at 37, 38 years old, right? He's going to be cutting less weight. There's going to be less muscle he's going to have to cut and everything else, right? His brain ain't going to be as dehydrated and everything else, right? So it's going to be beneficial to Terence Crawford, actually, who seems to fight very well, even at welterweight, right? Who fought very well a few years ago at welterweight, who fought very well against Mijamov, right? So him cutting even less weight, I would expect his stamina and endurance to be off the charts, right?
Hey, it's Canelo. The ring have a huge announcement, so make sure you follow the ring.
So I don't think the weight is going to be the factor of the fight, right? And we know the weight ain't going to be a thing for Canelo because it's his weight class. He's the man there. He's undisputed champion, right? But I think one thing that will be the factor of the fight would be who can make the adjustments in the fight. I think that's the main key factor in this matchup. I don't think it got nothing to do with the weight. I don't think weight's going to play too much of a factor. I think it's going to be who can make the adjustments and who wants it more is going to be the key factors of this fight. I think that Terence Crawford just has the gears to take things to another level. And could Canelo move? Could Canelo keep up? Is the question. Will Canelo be able to keep up once Terence Crawford turns up? Because we know when Bud turns up, it's kind of hard to turn him down, right? It's really, really hard to turn him down. The guys can barely keep up with him, and once he kind of takes off, he's gone, right? So will Canelo be able to keep up? Do Canelo have enough gears to keep up with Terence Bud Crawford? Did he put in enough work to keep up with Terence Crawford? I mean, we've seen some of the stuff that Terence Crawford was doing in this camp, and we've seen some of the stuff Canelo was doing from this camp. I mean, we've seen him playing golf. We've seen him on yachts. We heard rumors of him partying in San Antonio. We've seen a lot of things. Playing soccer, just a lot of playing, dirt biking. We've seen a lot of playing from Canelo Alvarez throughout this camp. And to be honest with you, we've seen a lot of Canelo over the years. And this is for the Canelo fans. We've seen a lot of Canelo over the years. He's one of the most famous boxers in the world. He's the face of boxing. So we've seen a lot of Canelo, and we've seen a lot of training camps for Canelo Alvarez. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, this training camp, I didn't see that much from Canelo Alvarez. What we did see, it didn't look like he was. I'm not quite sure what we were seeing, honestly. I don't know if Canelo was really. I can't say. All right, I'm not going to say it, right? I'm just not going to say it. He just better hope he's prepared for Saturday night. That's all I'm going to say. But the weight and everything else, not going to be a factor because Terence Bud Crawford is actually coming down. Terence Crawford will be actually cutting less weight. So it won't be a factor like people expect. We're going to see. We're going to see how the blows, when the blows start to throw, if Canelo Alvarez is going to be significantly stronger than Crawford, if Crawford blocks a shot, will it have an impact on Crawford? Will he be moving around the ring, or will Crawford be standing strong? We're going to be paying close attention to these things. So it's going to be a great fight, you guys. It's going to be a great fight. Both guys, they ready. Canelo, if he ain't ready, I don't think Canelo's ready, though, me be honest. I mean, I would say both guys look ready, but I don't think Canelo's ready, to be honest with you. So I will say Crawford is ready for this. I will hope that Canelo's ready for this Saturday. And I expect to see a great fight nonetheless, right? I mean, this is the big one. It's on Netflix for free for everybody to see. So, yeah, man, it's going to be a great weekend this week. And I think it's going to be a lot of upset people this Saturday. It's going to be a lot of upset people, sad fans this Saturday. I don't think it's going to be Terence Bud Crawford fans. But tell me what you guys think. Will the weight play a factor, or will it be another determining factor for who's going to win this fight? It's fight week. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holler at your boy. Peace out.